So you know what sequel they've just made, which is going to come out soon, like a Christmas-related sequel of all the Christmas movies you could ever make a sequel to. Jingle All the Way 2.
Oh no!
Yeah, for real?
Yeah,
for real?
That shit just happened, and you know.
I just googled it right now. Oh no! Oh no! I heard about this actually. And nobody is coming back.
No.
You know who's going to replace good old Arnold Schwarzenegger? Larry the Cable Guy.
Are you hanging up the stocking on your wall? It's the time that every Santa has a ball. Does he ride a red-nosed reindeer? Does it turn upon his sleigh? Do the fairies keep it so for a day? So here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. Look to the future now, it's only just begun. Are you waiting for the family to arrive?
Hello, and welcome down to the abyssal lair of the radiophonic sea creatures. Make love to an undersea sex machine, because I, Tokyo Choo Choo, am going to be your host today. And with my Barry White are two guys who are Barry White bred. It's Human Metal and Crack. So Human
You're
Metal...
the whitest person in here. Shut up.
Maybe. So, Human Metal, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. New Starbomb album out. I just want to say that because that just happened like 1 day ago, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's a video game comedy band, kinda with
Is it communist? Is it a video game communist band?
No, comedy, not
Oh, comedy. I just heard comedy, and I was like, oh, it's
No,
a video game communist band. That's
people-
pretty unique, though. A video game communist band.
I don't even know. How would you be a video game communist? How would that work? I have no idea.
It's just gonna be Tetris music.
You all
because,
share your games.
Tetris is
Games
Russian.
are for everybody.
Brack would love that, actually.
Yeah, kind of.
No, but
cheap fuck.
Yeah.
no,
Well,
but then nobody would make games, and it would all be like broken games that had a lot of bugs in them, and they just put them out like something like it's now, but even worse.
Most people probably know the Game Grumps, which are, at this point, Aaron Hansen, Egoraptor, who has done animations, the awesome cartoon animations, and his buddy Danny Sexbrain from the band Ninja Sex Party.
Wait,
awesome band.
Danny Sexbrain?
Sex Bang. It's
also pretty.
It's a pseudonym. And
I fucking hope so. At the DMV, calling Mr. Sexbrain,
Bang. Sex Bang, not Bane.
What?
Yeah. Anyway,
I said brain. Did you say Sex Bane?
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Anyway, they do like this weird I don't know, weird funky style music with raps interspersed, and it's really entertaining, really funny lyrics that mock a lot of video game characters and games. And yeah, the new album is called Player Select. It's available on several platforms now, and I recommend check it out and check out the old album. I just wanted to plug that because I really love the first album, and it's good stuff. But speaking of communist games, Valve actually started putting out region locks on their games.
Oh,
and
no!
But wait for it. It's not as bad as it sounds, at least for now, because they put it on just for certain regions like Russia and the CIS states and stuff like that. Because the the money over there is not that valuable right now. So if you buy a game from the Russian Steam portal, you pay maybe like a few bucks, and if you buy the game in the US or something, you would pay full price. So to counter that, they now restrict the games from Russia and other countries in that vicinity. So you can't gift those games to other people anymore, and you can only play these games if you are in that region. Basically, what region lock has been for consoles for ages. But right now, that's at least since I'm not living in Russia. I think for Russian it might suck, but for now I can see why they're doing it, and I guess that's okay for now. But I hope it doesn't get too bad because I still want to, be able to purchase uncut games from the American Steam portal and play them, like Sleeping Dogs. The Sleeping Dogs is censored in Germany, and I asked a nice person from Epic Battle Axe to gift me the US version. And that I'm afraid that might not be possible if they go all out with that in the future. So here's hoping. I don't know. Have you guys ever purchased Steam games from another region?
I have not, and I can also answer for Tokyo Chuchu because he doesn't even have Steam, I think.
I have
But-
Steam. Fuck you. I bought Shovel Knight.
Oh
on Steam.
yeah, you bought Shovel Knight. But I actually have bought a game in Germany, or actually I bought a used game, and later I found out
Surprise.
it was from Germany, and it was like Call of Duty, the first Black Ops, I think, and everybody it was the last Call of Duty that was in World War II, but
Let me guess. It cost
no.
$3.
less. But no, there was no blood. Everybody talked German, and the zombie mode was removed because for some reason in Germany you can't shoot Nazi zombies because that's offensive. And
They're
yeah,
not even Nazis. They're some other company.
Well, Call of Duty World of War didn't get released out here in Japan because you spend the majority of the time shooting Japanese.
seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then again, it's kind of sensible. I mean, if I don't know, if a game was released in the Netherlands where, you would spend all your time murdering the Netherlands people, would you really want to play that? I don't know.
Is there a game like that? Because I don't think so. And you
Yeah.
got
Actually, when are we actually going to get to play as the Nazis? When are you going to get to play as like a German soldier shooting like Tommies and stuff? I'd play that.
actually there's a
here that's
German
never gonna happen.
There's a German
Never,
soldier in like that Ubisoft 2D World War One game, so it's not a Nazi, but still a German soldier in a World War.
Do you know what else sucks in Russia? Being Russian.
I think most things in Russia kind of sucks. The president kind of sucks. Like
The girls
Most
suck
things there.
big time. Oh yeah, in a good way.
I was about to say, there's something missing from that sentence. Something is coming up.
Oh god, human metal. Thank you. So, Brack, how are you?
I've been great. I actually been playing The Walking Dead Season 2 over the last week. And you know what's weird about The Walking Dead Season 2? Like, money is kind of useless during the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So why is it that Clementine has a wallet with her that says bad motherfucker on it? Because in Season 2 of The Walking Dead, Clementine is just a real badass. It makes everybody in like the first season or in the TV show look like a little bitch. That's one of the funny things about that show. About that game. She's such a badass in this season. And I also found out the best way to play a Telltale game because Walking Dead Season 1, I just played it all in like a single day. And with Wolf Among Us, I played like every episode when it came out. And I think the best way is the way I played it with like The Walking Dead Season 2 is just play an episode and like the next day or the day after that play the episode after that and then go on till you finished it, because then you still have like the experience of like thinking about it, how the episode ended, but still not having to wait like 2 months for the next episode. And there's actually a Christmas sequence in The Walking Dead Season 2 that made me think about what's Telltale Walking of a Christmas game going to be like. And I was thinking about like, oh, you're going to play as Santa Claus, and Rudolph is bitten by a zombie, and either you have like the choice of either leave him and get turned into a zombie, or smash his head in with a candy cane or something like that. And that's like the Walking Dead Christmas Telltale game. So that would be, I would really hope they would make that game someday. And Telltale is making games from everything, like every property out there, so that's not going to be that far in the future.
I think, if they actually made that game, I think actually I'd have to check out the reviews, but I might pick it up. But, Are any of you guys excited for the Game of Thrones thing? I mean, I'd like to play that. I haven't got around to buying it, but I'd like to play the Game of Thrones.
I am excited, but I'm gonna wait like till they're finished.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm with
I did
you.
the same with Walking Dead's second season and Wolf Among Us. I'm gonna pick it up in one of the next sales, but I definitely want to wait for the full season.
I have the last 2 episodes of The Wolf Among Us sitting on my hard drive, and I haven't played them yet, so I should probably get around to that at some point. Somehow I always forget that game exists. I'm like, man, I've got nothing to play. God, I'm so bored, and I always forget that I've got 2 episodes of The Wolf Among Us on the hard drive.
Yeah, and I
Wonder
think
if
like
says
waiting for like another month or 2 months for like playing next episode really hurt my enjoyment with The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, so God knows how I'm going to feel when I finally get back to it. It's like, it'll probably be like, who the fuck are these characters? I don't remember anything. So, anything else, Brack?
No, that's about it. I've not done much else. I got Far Cry 4, but I only played like half an hour of it and only played the opening, which you can see online, I think. So, nothing new, but that game is pretty good so far.
Oh, one more thing. Have you guys seen the reveal of Street Fighter V?
It looks like Street Fighter.
It looks like Street Fighter 4, to be honest.
Yeah, I really. They also announced Street Fighter 4 HD, and I'm pretty serious. I think those could be the same game, and I wouldn't notice a thing.
It was always in HD. Do you mean Definitive Edition or something?
Or Definitive.
Yeah,
I think they call it HD for some reason.
What the? Okay.
Yeah, basically it was Capcom made the HD version. They're like, hang on a minute, if we just stick 1 or 2 more characters in this, we can sell it as an entire different game. They're like, shit! Yes! But we can't get too much exposure, so we're only going to release it on 1 platform, so the people on the other platform don't notice. Oh, good idea.
Oh, why would you care? You both have a PS4, so. Anyway, but yeah, I think, of course there's some more details in there and stuff like that, and they seem to have changed up a few of the game mechanics. It's not very clear yet. They have not detailed yet what new stuff is in there. There seems some stuff that was in Street Fighter 4 that's still in Street Fighter 5, like saving attacks and something like that. But there also seems to be some new stuff, also like destructible environments, and you can change stage areas and stuff like that. It's just neat. But yeah, and elemental attacks or whatever, weird. But
I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, but I might pick it up when they release like the ultra badass, super great Saiyan, Super Saiyan Street Fighter 5 edition. Maybe I will pick it up then.
Turbo Triple X, yeah. I'm with Human Metal. I used to be a massive Street Fighter fan, but I mean, how many times can you play Street Fighter, before you get bored? I mean, the graphics get slightly better, but Ryu and Ken are still in the game, and their attacks are still kind of the same.
Yeah, well, it depends. It depends how deep you want to go into it. If you just pick it up and play it like once in a while, like maybe Smash when you've got friends around, then yeah, sure. Then it's basically, I guess, stays the same for most people. But in depth, the mechanics have changed over time. I mean, Street Fighter Alpha 3 was, or 03 as it was released in Japan, was a hugely different game from, for example, Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Like, in terms of mechanics, the basic stuff was still in there, but it had some mechanics that fundamentally changed how those games were played. And Street Fighter 4 just was such a return to basics and simple stuff which made the matches really boring after a while, in my opinion.
Sounds interesting. See, I disagree with you. I like the more simple Street Fighters type combat. I mean, I actually started to lose interest when, so many new additions like like air counters and fucking, like combo
Parries.
breakers. Yeah, whatever they were called. Like when that shit started to get introduced, quite frankly, it flew over my head because I grew up playing the original Street Fighter 2, and went through the Street Fighter 0 series. Or Street Fighter Alpha, like you say. So when it got too complex, I think it just like, I can't be bothered to sink that time into this game to improve.
I guess that's why they brought it back, to the more simple roots for Street Fighter 4. Like the producer, the creator, what's his name? Ono wanted to, bring it back to the Street Fighter 2 roots and make it more accessible to everyone out there. And yeah, in one way that's nice and all, but like I said, I like to watch, the big tournaments once in a while and stuff like that. And Street Fighter 4 is always the most boring game to watch because it supports so few, ways to play a match and to do your mind games and stuff like that, and gauge your opponent and how you want to start battling him and stuff like that. There are not that many options in that game, and I hope Street Fighter 5 at least it probably won't get back to the extension like Street Fighter 03 had, which I like the most, with the 3 different types you could choose. But we'll see. Maybe it will be a bit more interesting than Street Fighter 4 to me. But if you like the basic pick up and play Street Fighter like 2 was, maybe you should check out Street Fighter 4, because I think that game is geared towards your kind of tastes.
Ironically, Human Metal's complaining about Street Fighter 4, but he's just fully convinced me to pick it up. So myself, I got 3 things on the list. I'm going to talk about them one of them very, very briefly. I finally got to see Guardians of the Galaxy, which Human Metal and Brack put on their game, the movie of the year list, and it was their movie of the year. Mm-hmm. I too really enjoyed that film. It was a bright, colourful kind of space adventure in the vein of the original kind of Star Wars films, not the shitty prequels. But I have to say, it wouldn't have been on my movie of the year list. I think the revised movie of the year list for me, considering the fact that I just watched a whole slew of movies that could have potentially made the list, I think my first would still be the Grand Budapest Hotel. I think Gravity would still be second. Interstellar would have gone in at third. Captain America, The Winter Soldier would have been 4, and Wolf of Wall Street would have made 5, and probably Guardians of the Galaxy would be thrashing it out with All You Need Is Kill for 6. So it was a really great movie. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing, but best comic movie of the year, comic book movie, I would have still picked The Winter Soldier over Guardians of the Galaxy. But great movie, yeah. I'm happy to have it on Blu-ray. So, but we already talked about that a whole shitload on the movies of the year episode. So I'm going to move on to the next item on the list, and that is another movie, Kick-Ass 2. So I saw that recently.
So why would you watch that? I also watched it, by the way. Last year when it came out, it sucked.
Well, the thing is that I've been studiously avoiding that movie because it has such a bad reputation. But frankly, I enjoyed it. I mean, was it as good as the original Kick-Ass? No way. Of course not. The original Kick-Ass was just great. A really, really fantastic film. But the second movie was an acceptable sequel. It was a lesser sequel, but it was acceptable. It was colourful. It was fun. It had many, many good moments, like Hit Girl dealing with the prissy bitches in her high school. That was hilarious. And, what's his face? Red Mist's kind of descent into the motherfucker was pretty damn funny and awesome. And it's just every scene he was in was just fantastic. And even Jim Carrey was pretty good. I'd hoped for a slightly more funny stuff regarding Jim Carrey, but I think his kind of goofy laugh and the way the ball jokes kept coming up with his dog was pretty damn funny. So I enjoyed Kick-Ass 2. It wasn't a special film. It's kind of like a bit of a ho-hum, but I thought it was a relatively decent sequel to Kick-Ass. So you guys obviously want to hate on the movie, so here's a chance.
I can't hate on the movie because I've not seen it, but there's so many bad things about it, so I don't have the highest incentive to watch it.
And not all of those awful things said about it were from me. They're from other people as well.
Exactly. And I've gone back a bit on the first one as well, because after I watched the movie, I read the comic books and I liked the comic book more, but
see, I like the comic book less.
I know. We've already talked about that previously. Yeah. But I still like the first one, but I've heard so many bad things about the second one. It's like less budget.
And maybe you like it more because the second one got closer to the comic book.
I recommend watching it. I mean, I had a good time watching it. I mean, it's not a classic, but it's just a throwaway piece of popcorn fluff. Expect no more than that, and you'll get what you went in for. It's funny in points. Yeah, it's got a good sense of humor. It's bright and colourful. It's not depressing in any way. It's really fucking stupid. Like, just don't expect the Dark Knight to, and you'll be fine, I think. So I'm going to move on to the last thing on the list, and that's a video game. So I'm going to talk about Alien Isolation. So I'm a huge Alien fan. I think everybody has that.
What?
Yeah, shock horror. Yeah, I think everybody has that one thing that they geek out totally on. Like, you know, for most people it's Star Wars, but for me it's Alien. I mean, I fucking have all the movies and, you know, even the shitty Alien versus Predator movies, which are just awful. You know, I've got the toys, the Alien plush teddy bears and shit like that. Like, I'm crazy for that stuff. T-shirts, you name it, I got it. So, Alien Isolation is a huge game for me. I was really looking forward to it. I've only played about 3 hours, maybe. I'm taking it at a very slow pace because it is a very
Only
slow
20
pace.
hours more to go.
Yeah, maybe. But the thing is,
That's
like,
what I've heard so far. The length is pretty bad. That is way too long for like the content in there.
Yeah, but I heard at the same time from two huge Alien fans, the two other Abajam and not the Angry Video Game Nerd. What's his name? Angry Joe. Both huge Alien fans, massive Alien fans. Love that movie as like one of their favorite movies of all time. Abajam has said he didn't feel anything bad about the running time. He just loved every single second of that game and didn't, you know, it didn't bother him at all. And Angry Joe said the same thing. He said for usual video games, he can see how for just fans of video games could get a bit tired of that game. But as a Alien fan, he said every single second he spent in that game was like a joy for him. And he just didn't tire of being in that world of Alien. So being a huge Alien fan like those two guys, I'm seriously thinking I'm going to go along the same lines. I mean, I'm 3 hours in and I haven't even seen the Alien, not once. I'm taking it at such a slow pace. The game is terrifying, actually. I think it's actually the scariest game I've ever played in my life. So it's not quite as scary as Dead Space when you're actually playing it. I mean, Dead Space got me in a state of panic and never let go throughout my entire playtime. But Alien Isolation pulled a mean trick on me by actually staying with me after I stopped finishing the game. It's the first video game to ever do it in my lifetime. Like, after playing Alien Isolation, you know, and being fairly terrified by it, I stopped. I put the controller down, went to brush my teeth, you know, in the middle of the night brushing my teeth, and I was like, yeah, the bathroom door's open. I think I'm going to close that. And then it was like upstairs to bed, and like I actually had to turn on my light and check the corners of my room briefly before going to bed. It's like, it's just the aliens don't exist. They're in video games and movies.
Such a gigantic wuss.
Oh man, it's the first. I love it though. It's the first game to ever do that in my lifetime. It's hilarious. I mean, not even movies can do that to me, but I must have been in a bad state or something. I don't know. But anyway, the game is awesome. It looks beautiful. Some of the best graphics I've ever seen in the sci-fi setting. The ship is designed spectacularly. I mean, if you're an Alien fan, when you're walking around the Torres for the first time, where you play the Crew Expendable DLC, man, you will be flipping out when you walk around the Nostromo. I mean, the sounds, the music, the design is absolutely spot on. It's like they've unleashed you on the set of Alien. It's absolutely fucking amazing. The atmosphere, the sound design is right up there with Dead Space. It's phenomenal. Unfortunately, as I say, I've not actually met the alien in the main game. I have tried the Crew Expendable DLC a couple of times, and I haven't yet completed it, because the furthest I get is actually in the tunnels, you know, like Dallas in the movie, and I keep fucking getting killed. Man, that alien's a mean motherfucker. So, if you ever want to know how quickly you die in Alien, the actual movie, play the Crew Expendable DLC, because, yeah, that actually answers the question, how long would you survive in the movie Alien? And it ain't long. Yeah, I'm having a shit ton of fun. It is so scary that I can only play for about 40 minutes at a time, a bit like Dead Space, but it's a wonderful game. I am enjoying it. And I know there's a slight danger that it might become tiresome, but I'm just not seeing it at the moment. And with that, we're going to move out the shallows and into the depths. Welcome back to the depths. So, today on the Depths we're going to have kind of our Christmas special. So it's going to be a bit of a stocking of sorts, one that we're going to kind of dip in and out of. And who knows what kind of gifts it will unveil. So the first thing we're going to talk about is our first piece of Christmas media, and that's going to be Human Metal's piece of Christmas media. So Human Metal, what do you have for us?
You know, it turned out to be really difficult to come up with something Christmas media related for me. I don't know why. Maybe because on Christmas there's a lot of shit on TV, but nothing interesting. Well, after the Holy Eve, I guess, on the next few days. But whatever. I couldn't come up with anything except for the movie that I associate with Christmas because that's its theme. That's
badass.
Batman Returns for some reason. Hey, I'm a comic nerd. Who would have guessed? Way. Yeah, Batman Returns. The, I don't know, by now probably not as infamous sequel to the original Batman movie by Tim Burton. And, yeah, that is a weird relationship with this movie. Obviously, I watched the first one first.
How do you mean weird relationship? Did you literally fuck the DVD case?
I might have if I was drunk on one Christmas night. I don't know.
He has a puppet of Danny DeVito's penguin.
Oh my god!
You don't know what he does with it at night.
But just thinking of a puppet of Danny DeVito's penguin is scary enough.
Yes.
Ramming my hand up his ass and make him work like a puppet. Anyway, like a marionette.
I literally don't. Well, hang on a minute. Like a marionette shoving his hand up his ass. That's not how marionettes work. I don't know how you've been operating.
Right. Well, it's a different kind of marionette, but you know what I mean.
As in a puppet.
What's the name for the ventriloquist puppets? Dummies.
Dummies. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Like that. Danny DeVito is my dummy. Anyway, he's small enough too.
I'm pretty sure I can't keep that on my shoulder.
Without
now
breaking
your arm.
Offensive.
We're getting offensive. Come on.
All right, I think Danny DeVito doesn't care.
Yeah, he's probably not listening to this podcast. Anyway, yeah, Batman Returns, very weird. When I first saw that movie, or the first few times actually, I liked it a lot more than the first Batman movie. Make of that what you will, but it was more over the top. It was crazy. It had better action scenes, in my opinion. It was funnier. I don't know. Probably its weirdness was more fun to me. I guess over the years I've seen that it basically hasn't to do much with the idea of Batman today, because Batman just goes around. I mean, he does it in the first movie too, but just goes around and kills a guy for no specific reason, blows him up, and I think he engulfs another guy in flames with his Batman, and like fries him, and shit like that. And Penguin and Catwoman are nothing like they are in the comics. They're just weird psychopaths. It's such a super crazy movie, but in my opinion, still entertaining. You just shouldn't go into it expecting a real Batman movie. It's something else. It's a Tim Burton interpretation of something that might be Batman. Yeah, totally crazy. But it's, like I said, it's Christmas related, and that's a pretty nice theme for a comic book movie. And it's pretty heavy in this movie too. Like, it's everywhere. There's you see people, enemies coming out of a big present box and stuff like that, and shit like that, and everything is in terms of color scheme and stuff like that. You see a lot of Christmas colors, and yeah, definitely, and it's definitely one of the most entertaining Christmas movies I've seen ever, and I definitely like it more than Home Alone, I guess. Oh my God, I just said.
Yeah, Jesus, Home Alone's a classic. Fucking hell.
It is, but yeah, I don't know. Probably today, I would still watch Batman.
Home Alone is like the movie they have on every Christmas, and you just get sick of it after a while.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Maybe I've seen that too many times, but yeah, it's a fun movie, and it's definitely a fun Christmas-related media. I know, Choo Choo, you have not a divisive relationship with that movie. I think you downright adore it.
Yes, I seriously, I love Batman Returns. Like, I just get, It's a controversial decision, but seriously, Batman Returns is my favorite Batman film ever made. I like it more than the Nolan films. I think that stems from when I first started getting into films when I was like about, 11 years old or something. You know, I got my pocket money and I went out to the cinema by myself to watch movies, and I saw Batman Returns. I hadn't seen the first Batman at that time, and it fucking blew my mind. I mean, seriously, it blew my 11-year-old mind right out of my fucking skull. I'd never seen anything like that before. It totally... I mean, it was actually rated 12 in England, and I was only 11. So
yeah, over here too.
I was legally seeing it, so it was absolutely fucking fantastic. And I went to the cinema like 5 times to see it, and, you know, it's just one of those movies that's just stayed with me through my childhood until my adulthood. I love it. Within the, like you say, it's like, it's Batman, but it's like Tim Burton's interpretation of Batman. The first movie, I think
it's Tim Burton having seen like a picture of Batman and making a movie out of that.
I think you might be right.
I don't think he's even read anything from Batman at all.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but the first movie, it's like they had the first Batman movie. I actually think is pretty great, but they had Tim Burton on a leash. It was successful, so they let him off the leash, and the result was Batman Returns.
Pretty much.
A film that literally could not be more Tim Burton if they stuck his face on the box instead of Batman.
That could have been more Tim Burton if Johnny Depp was in it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Batman.
If they should have just replaced Batman with Johnny Depp and had Johnny Depp's character.
But Johnny Depp, Batman is way too normal of a character for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is probably going to be playing like Catwoman or something like that.
That's hilarious.
That would be great, actually.
Man, I want to see Batman face off against Edward Scissorhands. That'd be a legend.
I could have actually seen Johnny Depp as the Riddler. That would be a pretty good casting, in my opinion.
Well,
pretty well.
If they had Tim Burton making the third Batman movie with Johnny Depp as the Riddler, it would have been a damn sight better than Batman Forever. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves. Helena Bonham Carter would have been Catwoman if they, known each other at that time already.
I deeply love Batman Returns. I love everything about it. Like, it's not just the fact that I have nostalgia for it. It's a great film. I mean, the scene where the Penguin's controlling Batman's car and framing him. I mean, it's just an awesome scene. Like Human Metal was saying, it's completely against the mythos of Batman, but the scene where he fucking punches that guy and throws him down a pit and blows him up with a bomb, it's just hilarious. Also,
yeah, it's amazing.
Also, my favourite scene in the movie is Batman's face-off with the Penguin at the end, where the Penguin crashes his fucking duckmobile, and then Batman, has that kind of fight with him and throws him through the glass. And then at the end, he comes out of the water with that kind of blood, that ink like pouring out of his nose. Well, Batman's searching for Catwoman. It's just a fucking amazing scene. That music, those motions, and then he grabs the umbrella. Shit, pick the cute one. Like, it's just fucking amazing. I'll murder you momentarily, but first I need a nice cool drink of ice water. It's just like amazing. It's violent and scary and fucking twisted and dark. I fucking love that film. So now we're gonna have someone's gonna poo-poo all over Batman Returns. Brack.
Oh no, I'm not gonna poo-poo all over it. I think it's a pretty good movie. I think it reached like this pulp enjoyment that I get out of it, and I can't really take it serious like as a story or something like that. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is
definitely.
I agree with
that. Yeah, that's what you wanted out of superhero movies at that time.
The only bad thing I could say, maybe objectively stepping away from it, is like Batman is kind of faceless. I mean, seriously, the amount of time spent on Michael Keaton's character is ridiculous compared to the other villains in the film. It's like, hey, this is a Batman film that actually isn't about Batman. It's about everybody but Batman. But there you go. So we're actually going to move on to the next item on the list, and that's going to be a question. That's a good old stocking question for you guys. So the question is, what is the most awkward movie to watch with your family on Christmas? So how about you, Brack?
So I pick Team America World Police, not because it's the most awkward, but I think that's like one of those movies when you're like with the family or something and you have some smaller children there, that one of those could easily pick out like Team America World Police out of like your stack of DVDs or on like the Netflix list or something. And it's like, oh, there's puppets in it. That could be a fun movie to watch together. And then you get to like the 5-minute puppet sex scene and then him puking on the ground for like a minute and like explosions and like all kinds of crazy shit. So that would be kind of awkward. And like it opens with a song about AIDS. So like so you're starting the DVD and the family doesn't even get it like in the beginning. They think, oh, it's a fun puppet movie. And then they start singing about AIDS. And I just want to watch like those faces when they realize that this song is going to be about AIDS for like 5 minutes. That would be hilarious to me.
Yeah, that would be actually be pretty bad. Although I didn't fucking like that movie actually the first time I saw it. I've only seen it once and I didn't like it, so maybe I should go back and watch that movie again. I think I might have misjudged that movie. How about you, Human Metal? Any opinions on Team America?
Well, yeah, I like it well enough. I've seen it like 3 times on TV. It's fun once in a while, but it's also, well, from the guys who made South Park, you don't have to say anything else. If you dig that kind of humor and satire, and if you're fine with it, at least occasionally, then you will enjoy Team America too, probably. So yeah, there's some fun jokes in there that don't get old, and yeah,
although I
definitely appreciate it.
Although I have a subversive streak, so I would actually purposely sit my children down one day and show them that and just shock the shit out of them.
You would, yes, you would.
Yeah, you think I'm joking? I'm not.
No, we don't think you're joking, not at all.
So how about you, Human Metal?
Well, again, had the problem coming up with things. Besides, any sexually loaded movie, worst case offender in that regard that is out new is probably Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac. I would, there's just so many totally incompatible movies for a family viewing experience. So probably one of those. But if I would to go, PG, I guess, since it's been fresh out Frozen, that's hitting enough with Choo Choo, because I'd probably, if I'm in the Christmas spirit and that movie is slightly Christmas themed, with its setting and everything.
How is Frozen awkward to watch with your?
Yeah, because if you're watching it with me, I might break out in song at specific occasions. So. That might be totally awkward for people.
I was literally going to make a joke about fapping while watching Frozen, but I think that's actually worse than wanking.
That's worse, yes. Sometimes I can't contain my
sometimes you just have to let it go.
For songs, yes. Sometimes you just have to let it go.
And yeah, exactly. If I was watching Frozen with Human Metal and he fucking just jumped off the couch, spread his arms, and just started singing "Let It Go, Let It Go," I would jump off my sofa and murder him.
Yeah,
like
seriously, right now, my ears started just bleeding.
That's why I'm not in Japan and we're not watching this movie together. I mean, there are several other reasons too, but yeah, that's one of them.
Like that scene in Fargo with the hammer. That would be me and Human Metal.
Bro. And rightfully so.
Oh man,
that's why I'm not gonna watch that movie with my family on Christmas. That's not a good idea. Sometimes I just can't contain my need for singing.
And Choo-Choo, what's your pick?
Well, my pick actually comes from actual real life. Like this, I actually watched this with my family. I think it was around Christmas. Yeah, it was around Christmas. Yeah. So I had my Japanese girlfriend there. I brought my Japanese girlfriend over, and my mother and father and my brother were there, and he had his girlfriend, and my father was like, "Oh yeah, I rented this DVD from the store," and we're like, "Oh yeah, it's an Oscar-winning film. Oh yeah, what's this title? Monsters Ball." Yeah, shit. That was the most awkward filming experience of my life. That was 90 minutes of sheer pain and awkwardness. As like, you know, my mother and my father, my brother and his girlfriend and my girlfriend and me just kind of like watching this like deeply intense, like sexually, like, you know, very intense movie, and all of us feeling like really uncomfortable. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like, yeah.
Next time you visit your parents, your dad will be like, "Hey, I got this nice new Oscar-winning movie we could watch. It's called 12 Years a Slave."
Yeah.
I just picked up this DVD from the store. It's called The Human Centipede, like something like that.
Yeah, like seriously, you can joke about it, but you really don't quite understand how awkward that was. It was like you were watching the movie, and you know you had this part of you that was like, okay, I'm an adult, I can deal with this. You know, and like, you know, I don't want to be rude because my father's, you know, put this DVD on, and there's the other half of body that screamed to you, "Get the fuck out of here now! Just leave the room."
So how was the dinner conversation right after that?
I don't think anybody said anything. It was like one of those movies where the movie ended and everybody quietly stood up and just walked off.
Amazing. It actually reminds me of that one time I watched Dogma with my parents, and the Jay character, you know, Jason Mewes' character, made this is sleeping and makes this one throwaway line where he says like, "I didn't come inside, Petey. I didn't come inside, Petey," and my stepdad is like, "What did he say?" And he rewinds and listens to it again. And I'm just sitting there. Well, I didn't understand. What did he say? I'm saying, no, just keep on going with the movie, please. And he's like, wait, did you understand it? What did he say? What did he say? And I'm like, okay, and I'm repeating it, and he still didn't understand it. He made me say it 3 times. I was like, oh God, make it stop. But that was on Christmas. But anyway, yeah, so I can understand how you felt, kind of. I just want to get out of there.
So we're going to move on to the next piece of media on the list. Brian, that's your piece of media. What have you got?
I picked the movie Rare Exports, and I actually watched this movie with my family last year. And this movie is I think it's Finnish, and it's like a horror fantasy movie, and it's about people are digging in like some middle of nowhere place in Finland, and they discover the real Santa Claus, and he escapes, and like a group of local Santa Claus in this movie, he's kind of like Gollum. He's like a really feral, creepy looking guy, and he doesn't talk, and he says, and there's like a group of local reindeer herders who capture Santa Claus. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And they I call up that company, and they're like, "We have Santa Claus. You're gonna pay us like this amount of money, and then we're gonna give him to you." And you think this sounds crazy? Like it's crazy, but this is more like, it sounds funny, but the way they play it, it's more like The Thing, that it's a horror movie. Only with like, but those reindeer herders, they find like killed reindeers like on the ground, like within the, and it's like killed by Santa Claus.
What the fuck? What is this movie?
Yeah, it's like in this movie, Santa Claus is more like the Krampus, where he's like a supernatural
I want
monster. But it's actually
Krampus.
Santa Claus. They call him Santa Claus, and there is actually a revelation in the middle of the movie that's really great. But I can't spoil. But that's like a really great plot twist about this.
Rare Exports, yes.
And it's Christ. And it's this movie is really entertaining, and it actually is I think it's maybe PG-13. It's kind of like a horror movie in a way that you can actually watch it with your kids, because it's not really that brutal or gory, and it's actually
Hey kids, you want to
Really-
see the real Santa Claus?
It's actually a really fun movie with like, you can watch it like with a 10-year-old or something, or a 12-year-old. Not like someone who's like 6 and really still believes that Santa Claus is real, because then he would be horrified to find out what
Right.
Santa Claus really is like.
Hang on,
But
stop the presses. Are you saying that Santa Claus isn't real?
I didn't say a word. That's a discussion between you and your parents.
Yeah, but that movie sounds really, really interesting. I think I'm gonna pick it up and maybe watch it with my parents.
Yeah, you should. It's actually really fun, and it's actually really, a really fun movie to watch with with your family.
Oh,
I can really
It's another
recommend it.
awkward Christmas movie going experience.
No, it's not awkward at all.
oh.
It does have like a caged up Santa Claus who is like a killer, but that's not that awkward, right?
More like amazing.
Man, I have to say, Brack, you talking about that movie made me laugh so hard, I think I actually cried a little. Like, that movie just sounds amazing. I gotta watch that.
You should watch it. You should totally watch it.
Oh man, that's just crazy. I think you just immediately put that on the watch list for me in Humor Metal, I think.
Indeed.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next item, which is going to be another question grabbed from Santa's sock. Not the killer Santa's sock, obviously, because he'd probably literally knife us in the back. But that question is, how would you trap Santa? And what would you do after you trapped him? Actually, this is kind of tying into the last item, isn't it, really? So,
Yes, it is.
how would you personally go about trapping Santa? And what would you do after you trapped him? Yeah, so how about you, Humor Metal?
Since Santa usually comes through the chimney, he doesn't really have direct access to my apartment because I don't have a chimney. So
Yeah, but he can make a chimney. So, like, do you know, have you seen that movie Santa Claus, which is fucking awful, by the way? He can make a chimney out of nothing.
Oh, okay, good to know. Well, I thought he would come over the balcony.
Okay.
So that would be actually kind of convenient because I have double access to my balcony from my living room and my kitchen. So if he comes through, into the living room to get shit set up, I can sneak out through the kitchen, scare away his fucking reindeers, or murder them, whatever, however I'm set up that day. And
Hasn't there been enough reindeer murdering on this episode already?
no, not
No,
nearly enough.
there's never enough reindeer
There's
murdering.
never enough reindeer murder on Christmas. And
Metal's going to set like one of those turret guns up on his roof.
yeah, and once his reindeers are gone, he's trapped and he can't get away. I mean, that's perfect. He can't get out, and I can take all the presents from. Also, wouldn't his presents be on his sled connected to the reindeer? So I would just hop into the sled and drive away with right away with his reindeers, and he's stuck in my apartment.
If
with
you
only
heard
my
it-
stupid ass presents, whatever I ordered for Christmas, probably something shitty. I could do that intentionally, and then I'm stuck with all the presents he has left on his sled. That would be amazing.
I see a massive hole in your plan. If you've murdered the reindeer, how are you going to get away in his sleigh?
No, I mean, if I should just keep the reindeers alive and ride away in his sleigh. That would probably be better than actually, the intent of trapping him here.
Provided that the reindeers aren't sentient, because if they realize that you're not Santa Claus, they might turn around and murder you, and then you'd be like skewered on their antlers and stuff, and they tear you to like pieces, and you'd be like, half your body be hanging off of like Rudolph, and half your body would be hanging off of I don't remember the other fucking reindeers' names, but those fuckers.
It's just Rudolph, that's the only one that people know.
But I imagine they're like voice activated, so you have to hit just the right.
Voice-activated reindeers.
You have to hit like the right octave of ho ho ho, and if you achieve that, they run and listen to you. So
Now he's saying that Santa's reindeers are hoes. Move it, ho!
I would be surprised. What else is there to do on the North Pole? I mean,
Yeah, raise reindeers to be hoes. Yeah, that's what they do in the North Pole. They're lacking in prostitutes there, so they just go around like raising prostitute reindeers. So fucking stupid. Frank, how about you?
See, I'm gonna keep it easy, by the way. First, in Santa Claus, I'm gonna say that Santa Claus is a total asshole, by the way. He can make chimneys, and for the kids, if you can make chimneys, why don't you go like to Africa and like make wells with that same magic? Why don't you help the world instead of giving presents to like some rich American kids? That's stupid.
No, he can only make chimneys. His magic is very limited.
Yeah. And plus, he's an asshole. I mean, he's so fucking lazy. He works on one night a year. I mean, what a fucker. He has the rest of the year off. Man, give me that schedule. I'd love that.
But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a bear trap underneath the chimney, and when he goes out, he just gets dressed. And it's really easy.
Doesn't he come out ass first? Wouldn't that bite him
matter.
in the ass? Okay.
Doesn't matter, I think. I think he isn't going. He isn't moving anywhere anytime quickly. So it's just gonna, bear trap, gonna catch the guy, use him as hostage to like give me all his gifts and all like all the stuff from like the Santa Claus workshop. And then I'm just thinking I'm gonna dig a grave like in the backyard and shoot him and like cover it up.
That got super dark.
Here lies.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna keep it simple.
I'm pretty much like a scrambled version of Brack. Has anybody seen that movie, 10 Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead? Like,
I've seen it, but a long time ago.
There's the scene where the company sends an assassin off to kill the main characters in the film who, like, I've forgotten exactly what the plot was, but there's like a heist that goes wrong or something, and the mafia send like the super assassin who's played by Steve Buscemi to kill like the main characters. And Treat Williams is one of the guys who is that the assassin's after. And basically he decides that to combat this assassin, he just sits in the same room all the time, pees into mason jars, boards up all the windows, just sits there on his bed with a fucking pump action shotgun, like taking like medicine to stop himself from sleeping, literally just staring at the door, like 24 hours a day. And then hilariously, when the assassin finally arrives, you know, he finds Treat Williams sleeping and stabs Treat Williams, you know, while he's sleeping. Only Treat Williams isn't actually sleeping. He's actually standing behind the door. That this assassin's just come in and then blows him away with a shotgun. So, spoiler alert for 10 Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, by the way. But anyway, so that's what I do. I just sit in front of the, like, Santa Claus, like, does all his work in, like, you know, one day, right? 24 hours. So I just sit in front of my chimney, drinking, like, taking, like, anti-sleep medicine with a pump-action shotgun. And then when he comes down, just like, hey, Santa, I've been waiting for you, buddy. And then, you know, either I'd do two things. I'd let him live, or I'd blow him away. I'd probably blow him away, actually.
When you shoot him with a pump-action shotgun, I don't think he's going to be alive.
Yeah. Well, you know, you could just, you don't have to shoot him. If you've got, like, your pump-action shotgun trained on the mantelpiece, you know, like, when he comes down through the chimney, I mean, what's Santa going to do? He's going to, like, you know, he's got a pump-action shotgun in his face. What's he going to do? He's probably going to, you know, give me a gift or something, or a lump of coal for being a bad boy. If he gave me a lump of coal, I'd fucking definitely shoot him in the face. But anyway, so that's how we'd trap him, right? Alive or dead? Dead or alive, you're coming with me. I'd take him on a world tour. Do you know, like when what's his name? Jesse James got killed, and then they toured his body around on the ice. I'd do that with Santa, you know, take him to New York or whatever and put him on display and get money, and I'd become rich and famous. The guy who trapped and or killed Santa, like, be amazing.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've overstepped the mark here? So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next item on the list, and that's going to be Edward Scissorhands. So this is my piece of media. So I love Edward Scissorhands. I think arguably it's probably my most favorite piece of Christmas media. I don't know. That movie just makes me feel great. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Another Tim Burton movie, along with Batman Returns, made Johnny Depp into a fucking superstar. Yeah, the movie is just absolutely fantastic, you know, rife with metaphors about being the outsider and the fuck that. I'm too drunk to think about metaphors, but it's just an awesome film. Okay. It's got it's really, really funny. I mean, just the concept of that brightly colored, like, neighborhood. And right at the end of it, you have this huge Gothic mountain. with his huge mansion on top. It's like a fairy tale come to life. It's fucking fantastic. Watching it as a kid, growing up, just a really, really fantastic fairy tale, but it is shockingly violent as well, because the one guy gets murdered in that film. Gets like, properly like full on murdered in the PG rated film. Maybe it's even U rated, I don't know, but a fucking guy gets skewered through the stomach and pushed out through a window and then fucking falls and dies. His stomach's all split open as well. You get to see his corpse on the ground. It's amazing. Like, amazingly violent for a children's film. And it's just beautiful. It has some of the most romantic scenes, and it makes me cry every time that, you know, that scene where fucking Edward Scissorhands, the Winona Ryder, who's hot as shit in that film, and not a shoplifter at that time, you know, says to him, like, hold me, and he says, I can't, man. That fucking gets me every time. Every fucking time I cry like a little sissy bitch. A bit like Yumameto. So just an excellent movie.
Hey.
You are a sissy bitch, Yumameto. You know it.
No, I'm not. Stop saying that.
Leave Human Metal alone.
No.
So, what do you guys think about Edward Scissorhands?
Oh, it's been ages since I've seen that movie, so I can't say much about it. I barely remember anything. But now that you mention it, well, I need to rewatch it. So thanks for bringing that up.
No, seriously, I'm not kidding, Human Metal. You should totally watch that. Watching Scissorhands as a child and watching Scissorhands as an adult are two different things. It's amazing when you're an adult. It fucking gains so many layers. Like it is for me. It's Tim Burton's best movie by far. It's his masterpiece, his classic. How about you, Brack?
I wouldn't say if it's his masterpiece, but maybe it is. I haven't seen like Ed Wood yet, but
it's not good. That is overrated.
Or Big Fish. I haven't seen Ed Wood or Big Fish, so I heard that's his two best movies from people. But I liked Edward Scissorhands, but it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I might rewatch it pretty soon if it's a Christmas movie, so it's Christmas time, so I might rewatch it. But yeah, it's good. Tim Burton was good back then. It's before all his shitty movies happened.
Edward, I think there were a couple of movies that I tend to watch like almost every Christmas. Edward Scissorhands is one of them. It's like always on my playlist of movies to watch at Christmas, along with Home Alone and Die Hard, and it's just one of the obligatory ones. Yeah, I totally recommend you guys watch that.
Yeah, I also watch Die Hard every year. It's the man's Christmas movie.
Nothing says Christmas than shooting a bunch of guys and kicking a German out of a fucking tower block. Also doing a load of coke as well. That's also in that film, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And driving a limo.
Yeah.
Next item. So, so what are your guys? Judging from movie characters and game characters, who do you think would make the best or worst shopping mall Santa? So, how about you, Human Metal?
I didn't go for movie. I went for TV series, just that specific incarnation of that character.
Okay.
And Bragg already mentioned that before. The Krampus. Who is the
Krampus? Sorry, I just have
to
say.
I'm going to tell you.
Who is the Krampus?
I'm going to tell you who that is. The Krampus is a Germanic demon that accompanied Saint Nicholas in olden times, which is basically the German version of Santa Claus. So while Saint Nicholas rewarded the good children with presents, Krampus meted out punishment to the bad children. So.
I think the Krampus is what I would refer to my girlfriend as when she's on the period. It's the time of the month. I see you're the Krampus again.
All right. Relates to cramps. I get it. I think. Also red like Christmas. And Santa's uniform.
That's giving me a nasty image.
Anyway, now you know how that's going to be. But yeah, the only actual incarnation in media I've seen the Krampus is on an episode of the Venture Bros.
Yes, that's the one I was also thinking about. That was a hilarious episode.
That was a fucking hilarious episode. Basically, the two kids who always, the actual Venture Brothers, who are not really the main characters of the show, which is funny, but that was intentional, I guess. And they mess around with a mystic book, which they think is just filled with old Christmas tales, and accidentally summon the Krampus. And the way the the door opens, the Krampus storms in, and the first thing he does is like battering and trying to basically beat Dr. Venture, the actual main character, to a pulp, and then tries to what seems to sodomize him through his jumpsuit. And yeah, that's a fucking amazing scene. And if that happened in a warehouse in a shopping mall on a regular basis, I think that would be pretty bad, especially if it happened to children. So I think Krampus from the Venture Bros would make a very bad shopping mall Santa, but I guess that's the point because he's the anti-Santa. So yeah, that's my pick.
How about you, Brack?
Now, in my opinion, the worst Santa, that's going to be Kratos from God of War, of course. And he might have a beard already, and he could just paint it white, so it's kind of easy for him. But and he had kids. He had a family. He had a daughter. He also killed his daughter. So
What?
maybe not a great track record to working with children. And I think he's just gonna be pissed off, and like everybody, he's just gonna kill all those kids, and it's gonna be horrible. Rudolph is gonna go around, and he's just gonna cut off Rudolph's head.
He's gonna fuck all their mothers.
He's gonna use like Rudolph's head, like with the lightning, so he can light up the cave he's gonna visit and stuff like that. It's just gonna be horrible. It's just gonna be a giant bloodbath. And like, no, don't hire Kratos to be like Santa Claus in your mall.
Well, yeah, on his resume, like attributes, killed my daughter. Like, you're hired.
Someone with integrity.
Although, let's face it, if you and I, Brack, were in the mall and we saw Kratos there as a fucking Santa, when you want to go sit on his lap and see what he has to say.
I would run away, especially if I was the actual Kratos from the games. I would run away as fast as I could. Because it is not even that he kills like the bad people only. He just doesn't give a fuck about everybody else. So if anybody else gets killed in like the process, he doesn't care.
So my personally worst or best shopping mall Santa, I have two suggestions actually. I just thought of this. Human Metal was talking about Krampus. Do you know what's his name? Black Pedro? Black Peter? I can't fucking remember the guy's name. The guy in Collateral, the movie Collateral.
Yeah,
the guy gives a speech about Black Peter or Black Pedro, I forgot. The guy who snatches children away and they're never seen again. Imagine Santa Claus, in a shopping mall, the usual Santa, and he's got a little black assistant. And then it's hard to say this without getting racist, isn't it? Really? But this is in Mexican folklore, people. I'm not being racist. This is directly from Mexican folklore. Santa Claus has a black assistant, and then what that black assistant, his name is Black Pedro or Black Peter. I can't remember.
Black Pete.
Black Peter, yeah, okay, Black Peter. So, Black Peter, the nice children would get a nice gift from Santa. The naughty children would be taken by Black Peter and never seen again. That would be a pretty fucking bad shopping mall Santa. It's like, hey, little Mike, how are you? What do you want from Christmas? Fuck you, Santa. Oh, Black Pete, this one's yours, mate. Anyway, but the other character would be a game character, and that would be Sonic the Hedgehog. So there are a couple.
What?
There are a couple of reasons why Sonic would make a great or very extremely bad shopping mall Santa. The first one would be Sonic is naked, like seriously, completely stark naked. But the fact is, right, like, I know you can say, like, he's a hedgehog. He's supposed to be naked because he's like a wild animal, but he's wearing sneakers and gloves, which means he's completely aware of society's, ideals of like being clothed, yet he chooses to run around naked. Okay? So when you go up, you're like sitting on a sentient hedgehog who's completely naked and male. Okay? Now, obviously, he's a hedgehog. He's got to have a dick, right? Because they mate. You're sitting on a naked, exactly, a naked hedgehog's lap. Who's got a penis and is wearing just gloves and sneakers. It's like sitting on Michael Jackson. Okay, he's just sitting there naked in gloves and sneakers.
But there's actually even a worse reason for having like a Sonic, because let's be honest, those kids from these days, they've played like a Sonic game they got for Christmas.
Yeah.
They probably hate Sonic. Then those kids are just gonna team up and attack Sonic, and it's gonna be a bloodbath as well. Only with Sonic being dead, so maybe that's not a bad thing.
Well, the thing is, those kids can gang up on Sonic, but again, Sonic can move really fast and do that kind of like buzzsaw motion. So basically, kids would be running to attack him. You do that buzzsaw thing, and there'd just be this mass of young kids running into like what looks like a blue buzzsaw, and just like guts and blood spraying all over the ceiling. It'd be a fucking security catastrophe, be all over the news. It'd just be the most horrific thing that ever happened. But the other reason that, Sonic would be such a bad Santa is, like you say, Brack, he gives them presents, right? But just like the Sonic series, probably it would be like 50% great, amazing, 50% the worst stuff that you've ever seen in your life. So one person would open his present and be like, oh my god, there's this amazing lollipop in here, it's fantastic. Another person would open it, it would literally be a piece of, like a puddle of sick with a piece of shit in it. Like, as is consistent with the Sonic franchise. And yeah, I think as time goes on, there'd be probably a few more boxes with sick and shit in it, let's be honest. So, yeah, that's our opinion on Christmas media and, Christmas-related stuff. But what's your opinion, oh valued listener? So, answers on the back of a postcard, or alternatively, the comment section. And with that, we've actually come to the end of this week's crazy visit to the ocean floor. So, please join us next time. A deep smoker offers you a Cuban cigar. And until then, this is the Radiophonic Sea Creatures wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and signing out.
Merry Christmas. Also follow us on Twitter at Radiophonic Sea.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that kind of good stuff. Go get drunk.
So, actually, I should have said this before we signed out, actually, to be fair. But to be honest, you might have noticed, but I am a tad drunk.
Really? I didn't notice. That's so
you're drunk on a recording. Hold the presses.
That's so unusual for you.
Hey, it's the usual, okay? I start sober, I finish drunk. That's the way of the world, my friend. But actually, we are going to continue into the new year a little bit, because we're actually going to deliver our kind of beta episodes, our pilot episodes, if it were, where we kind of transformed from the Accent Assembly into the Radiophonic Sea Creatures. So we got 2 episodes that we recorded in the dark. We are going to go unleash those unto you in the break. So both those episodes are probably kind of, works in the making. But yeah, you'll be able to hear them and hear how the Radiophonic Sea Creatures came to be. So, with that again, Christmas wishes, and yeah, get some good presents and play some fucking good games. Get laid spectacularly. If I have one Christmas wish for you, it's that. Get laid spectacularly. Especially you, Human Metal.
As you command, my lord and master.
See, Human Metal knows his place. With that, this is the Radiophonic Sea Creatures tuning out.